on a long walk all the way down the East River and up the west side. The roots cut through the asphalt. The pigeon is impaled to the rotting piling. When I am walked by, nothing flies by so fast as when the tape gives way, a ribbon falls off, and the love beneath the paper rustles to awake. Pretty little nose ring. If you'll look into the closet of another life, you'll find material so gossamer you cannot see how it hangs on a hook, that flat, smooth house that sweets against the chest, the true love that always I am not philosophy, cinnamon between the pages, dessert saturation, brink synergy on the olive edge sliced so thin with the red beet. That muffler sputters down the street with my lime green thought under a misbegotten bower. Kiss her, past. But love puts her pretty little nose ring, that silver bracelet boulevard you've worn home, though leaving is a bitter aftermath. But call me anytime Debussy disturbs you from sleep. I am rushing through the overgrowth. I am pond with big fat frogs. And this is the third one. This happened. Ophir helped me make it on the eyeball seat. Is being in love listening like fishing poles along the dock? What is a child's rattle when a tugboat pulls a barge through the water while lights pulse along the bridge? My emptiness is my white sock back in the mold of foliage, quiet shrubs bathing in the peat and constant motion pools singing cast iron, a camera rally's bliss. Isn't bliss cross-legged on a summer's evening bench? We, like a dead bird, I murmur explanations, free-flowing ink, the German puff of a dog, the restaurant ids my thirst, and you can buy this poem for 2 glasses of wine and something good to eat. This poem it was written about 2 years ago. It's called A Poet's Early Summer 2009. It's the 23rd of June, and clouds reflecting gray matter float above the former spring and menace me. The festival where I have been just west of Spring Street at 6th Avenue leaves a greasy hot dog aftertaste in my mouth. It was hot when the sun shone through, and I've never before noticed the harmonica drool that a player would have down his shirt as he blew out blues. I stand on the asphalt and wish, as the decimeters of an hour work on my self-conscious loneliness, about next week. Because next week, any clouds reflecting gray won't matter, won't mean so much, since I won't be alone and thinking, how cool that cool guy kissed me, but who may have one thing better to do, and I sip my wine wondering, if I call him tomorrow, will it go as well as before? Time has pushed past 7, yet the debris of construction tumbles loudly down a chute. Nothing else seems to have slowed with my expedience to be enraptured. There was smoke from the grill. There were lovers on a nearby bench. There is an insistent breeze that wants to befall a tidings populating with disaster and experiment.
Stop, I gotta film it. Sorry. Yay.
Thank you guys. No, maybe it's we'll probably do this more than once, but I think it'd be a good time to thank Zev Torres for putting this together on Solstice Day. As you guys know, it's Make Music New York, so there's events going on all over with music, and I love that Zev calls it a poetry event and puts some music in it, because music is definitely poetry is definitely very musical, and music music, if it's any good, should have some poetry in it, don't you think? So it's very nice. Sorry, just 1 second. Yeah, please. I was just gonna say that. Please feel free. There's a talking drum right here, and there's some sticks in there. There's a couple other shakers in there. You know, this, you should not feel shy. This is about, you know, everybody kind of moving it and shaking it. So you guys, right? You got the youth going there. It's very good. All right. So I'd like to do a couple of songs right now for this little segment in response to what Tom was saying about wars and how they don't serve us and they kind of serve the people that run things, who I don't think serve us, you know. So the kind of music I try to play is I dubbed it rally folk music. Actually, one of my friends did. Rally folk music, to try to describe what kind of music it is, but also almost like a command to all of us that we need to rally folk. Because it doesn't take much if you look around to see that this world is really coming down around our heads. You know, from Egypt to Wisconsin to New York to Yemen to everywhere. The world is ruled by a very few people who all they care about is getting more for themselves, and they're destroying the planet as they do that. So there's a couple tunes here. This first one was actually written during the 2-week period when Tunisia and Egypt kind of erupted, and it was like, what the? It's like, you know, it's one of those things where you're like frozen for that week. At least in the United States we were frozen. We were like, what? And suddenly, you know, there's all these things happening, and kind of domino effect. So this song came out about at that time, and it's called We Are the Ones. Part for you in here too, so it would be nice if you guys would join in. Let me just make sure this is right.
Give me a
Yes, Demetrius, Daniel,